Howdy everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Gaming Times podcast. I'm your co-host, Clayton Draper, and Jacob Winters as the other co-host. We will be basically refreshing y'all on who we are and how we met. So, how did we meet?
Back in Advanced Warfare days.
Advanced Fortnite.
I almost said it. I'm gonna be honest.
At least it wasn't Fortnite, that's for sure. But yeah. I mean, we were, we get confused sometimes, like if it was either Black Ops 2 or Advanced Warfare, but it was, I remember it was, even though we had a video that was later down the road, like a day or two later, and was on the same map where we met, it was, I don't remember what it's called, but it's the one with the,
I remember it.
The
had like
tsunami.
that thing in the middle. Was it the tsunami? I thought it was the one with the...
It wasn't Solar. Solar, I know about the glitch.
I thought it was the one with like the building in the middle, and you could like go in it. I don't know. It's been a while.
Which one's that? I don't remember.
Let's see. It was a big infection map, I want to say. Let's find out. I'm actually curious now.
I'm feeling bad because I used to remember every map on there. Was it a DLC map though?
Not
Oh no! I know what you're talking about. It's jail. It's a jail place.
Was it Comeback?
Yeah, Comeback. It
Comeback?
was the prison place, right?
I think
with the catwalks and then.
Oh my god, dude! Me looking at some of these maps bring back some memories. Oh, holy cow! No, it wasn't Riot. Riot's the prison one.
Oh, then I had no idea.
I think it was Comeback. Man,
was it like the Chinese, Japanese type place, or is that the?
No, it was it was, let's see, Downtown Lagos. God, release date November 4th, 2014. Go. That's what, 7 years ago?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That I remember that was an episode on this channel that it was your perspective with me, and it was infected, and you're running away from them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised.
Yep, that's the map.
That's the only video that I have published on either channel that we haven't got a copy strike on, because it has the whatever that song is, the ba-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking.
Every other video, if I had the dubstep, the copyright free one, I get copy strike. But that one, literally, it's like, hey, I took it from YouTube, and it's still like, oh, you're okay. Even though it's the same audio clip on another one, it's like, no go. It's probably someone that reported it or something, but it doesn't really matter. There's one video, and it was the goodbye video, and it's about Minecraft, not the YouTube part of me leaving. It was copy striked, and it says that it won't be monetized, and I'm like, I wanted to see, and it was the outro song, and I'm like, I'm really sure, and I have a screenshot of the description of that video saying that you have all the rights, just give me the credit in the description, which I copy and pasted that link, which I was okay for a long time. Now it's all changed and whatnot, and I could claim it, saying, hey, or counterclaim it and saying, hey, I have the rights or whatever, but if it backfires, they can terminate my channel because of it. I'm like, it's not really worth the risk, because it's, I mean, no views are really on it, except like maybe 200. I don't know.
That one video I made with Kendall, it was the cake one, and there was a song that said like don't go to sleep for too long. That one was like a TikTok song for a while.
Yeah.
And I just slapped it in there knowing I was gonna get copyright striked. I got like 1,000 views on it, and I didn't get copyright strike for I want to say like 6-7 months after I posted it.
Mm-hmm.
It was like that should have got copyrighted instantly.
They had what was it called? They had I'm blanking again. Shit. Yeah, for the videos like TikTok, the compilations on YouTube, they get not millions, but thousands of dollars just because of that, the compilations of it. And yet when content creators want to, it's like, no, it's no go. But yeah, it's I like the there's a meme or whatever that I saw, and it's basically you can report something just right, how to word it to corporate for YouTube, and they have to watch the whole entire video, and then it's a video of Voldemort from Harry Potter laughing like a, and it's called, the title, not for me, it's quoted, I'm going by quote people, it's called Voldemort laughing like a retard for 10 hours. And then someone reported it saying there's nudity in it, so a individual has to watch it for 10 hours straight just to figure out where the nudity is. They can't skip through it. They have to play every frame each, so they had to listen for that for 10 hours.
That's awful. That's so bad.
Great. Like, they screw the content creator over, so I'm like, well, I mean, it's worth a try.
It's insane.
But any movies or TV shows that we have you watched that you would recommend?
Yes, actually, it's a Netflix show. No, I think it is on. Yeah, it's a Netflix show. It's Vikings, actually.
I have seen that. I have or seen trailers to it. I heard it's really good. Like,
it's realistic, but it's more realistic than what some of the Norse tales say. Mm-hmm. Like. But it's really good.
Is it kind of like the same momentum or a good storyline like as season 1 through 7 with Game of Thrones? Just don't like push away the 8th season. No one cares about that one.
I've never watched Game of Thrones.
Oh man, you gotta really watch that. There's what was the other one? There was one that was really good. That people have liked. There's Witcher. That one's a good one.
I haven't watched that either. Played it.
Same. It's just what is it? The show is not in chronological order. It's all scrambled. If you watch each if you look at a list, you can go to each individual show to actually watch it in order, and it's kind of weird how they did it, but they got millions out of it in like a 7-season layout for him. But one that we have been watching is Loki. We just finished up the last episode. Awesome show. It's one of my favorite Marvel MCU TV shows that they have put out. The WandaVision one. Sarah and I struggled. We struggled watching that. And then I was raised up on like 60 rom-coms and 70s. Mm-hmm. There's that 70s show, Mama, or I forgot that, Golden Girls and whatnot. But it was just so hard to watch. So hard. It was just so dry. Doesn't hit anything funny. No good story until it was like the ending credit of the first or second episode. And then we finally got back into it. Like, all right, let's sit down and watch it. Finish up the episode. And as soon as we left it, that's when it got really good. That was our luck. We just lost patience and we're like, oh, we're done with it. And then it got really good. We're almost finished with it. And then Loki, that one's awesome. We finished that up.
I want to watch it.
They said there was a director, or the screenplay of it. They wanted it to be more like The Witcher and Game of Thrones. But I'm glad they went this route, because they were saying if it was this route, they would have had like at least one or two sex scenes each episode. I'm like, that's not what Stanley wanted, but yeah, it's just money grabber. But the other ones like Netflix, those shows, Daredevil all the way. Can't think of any other ones. Movies.
I haven't watched movies much lately. There's nothing been really good.
Yeah.
Or been out, I should say.
I heard about what was it? I heard about Black Widow, but Sarah's watching it now. I already been spoiled on it. I'm not gonna get into it. She really wants to watch it, so we're gonna watch it. Tenet we watched. I would recommend watching it once. I wouldn't watch it again. It's just too long, but it has good psychological backgrounds and like some lines in there that are really good. And then a lot of people are curious on when they went to watch it. I noticed it too, and it was just the music was louder than the voices, which sometimes that's understandable, but they intentionally did it on purpose. So we listened more of the movie instead of the actors and actresses that were talking. It was kind of weird, on that end. But and one more thing about the MCU, Winter Soldier, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That one, I had to turn off the first 5 minutes. I started watching that. That was bad. I know some people are like, you should watch it more. Give it some time. I'm like, it's just so hard to watch. I did. I you gotta give me some credit on there. I did watch a little bit more, and I turned it off again. The first 5 minutes I was watching it, it's like, yeah, here's Falcon kicking some ass in the air, and then all of a sudden it goes back to real life, and then he has a sister, and then they're having money problems to keep their father's boat for fishing, and I'm like, this is just too hard to believe. If they had it before he became the Falcon, that's totally fine. But now he's established. When Tony died, he has given out everyone a certain asset, so he's at least a millionaire, and so they wouldn't have any problems. Okay, I'll let that slide a little bit. And then they did, oh, now it's redlining and all this for the banks. I'm like, okay, I understand that's real life, but they don't have to drill it in your face the whole entire time. But that's about it on that show. I want to watch it a little bit more because they have an actor in there that he's really good. He's, I guess, the new Captain America in that show, but until the end. But that's about it.
Well, I'd say for 2 other Netflix shows that are good, I don't know if people would be into this. You're probably going to giggle, but Naruto and Attack on Titan.
Oh, not
so
bad. Not
good.
bad. I have a cousin that's really into Attack on Titan. I have a T-shirt on there of it that I got through Loot Crate.
Look, that's from Naruto right there.
Nice.
Sarah,
I couldn't really get into anime until Sarah showed me some of them. It's like Howl's Moving Castle.
Seen that one.
I forgot the one that has no face in it. I'm bad with titles, but those are really good. I really enjoyed them. Howl's Moving Castle. That one's by far my favorite. I love this. I love the line of, "What's the whole point of living if you can't be beautiful?" Like, but that's about. I mean, I like it. It just sometimes I just have to be in the mood to watch it.
Same, 100% agree. Cause like I don't know, I feel like I like it because I'm one of the I like getting adrenaline rushes. I don't know why, but when I watch it and things go crazy, I just get going.
Like for example, I don't watch Office anymore. I need to get it back, or I need to download Peacock on there. But I used to watch it all the time. But a lot of times I just had it play in the background, but I was still watching while doing something else because I already know almost every scene because it's Office. But it's just these other shows. It's just I just have in the background. If I want to clean my room, I play Hoarders on the show on the TV. But that's really about it. I mean, Sarah and I have been really busy. She's been watching some what was it? Something Hero Academia, that one. And then there's a vampire type anime on Netflix that she's been watching. She finished them up. There's only one that only has 2 seasons on it, and that's it. And for some reason,
Howl's Moving Castle. There it is.
Yeah. That one's a fun one.
But like that's why I like Vikings, I guess, because when like cool stuff happens, I get that adrenaline rush. Just want to be a Viking at that point.
Yeah. But what was it? Yeah, I'll have to do the poll later. That needs to be later down the road. But let's see. Vacations and occupations. So let's talk about vacations and occupations since we have been gone for past few years or so.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've gone on. It wasn't even much of a vacation. I'm usually really busy in the summer with football.
Yeah.
So the most I got to do this summer was go to Cedar Point. They had it was called like golfy something, and there was like putt and go-karts and an arcade. So I did that for a day. Then I ride Cedar Point, and then drove over to Cleveland and played Topgolf.
Yeah.
So that's about only vacation. I think I've never been to a beach, matter of fact. Which is I did. I was at Myrtle. How did I forget that? We talked about it the other day. I was at Myrtle. I don't know how many.
What were
years
you
ago.
on while you're there?
I just totally blanked. But in terms of job wise, I've had one job, and it was last summer. I worked for girlfriend's dad's business, and I was in a warehouse putting away semi parts.
Nice, nice. I just got back from vacation. It was at Colorado with Sarah. We met up with my family for 2 days. It was a little bit chaotic at a point in there, but we had, and I'll mention about our summer rental experience later in the video. But I'm Clayton Draper, and I'm an operational manager at CVS, and this is probably my favorite job that I have worked for. The first paying job I had was at a cemetery, in which I only got paid $9 an hour, and it wasn't taxed or anything. It was funded by just individuals, and then I went up the ladder and got a radio station job, and then which I technically still have. Is just because the pandemic really postponed everything or stretched it out that we can't really do anything. And then so after that happened, I needed to get another job. So I saw I think it was my mom that messaged me saying while I was at college, saying like, hey, the roller skate place is hiring. So I'm like, oh, okay. They were asking for like a part-time DJ, and it was really to fill in for the DJ when he needed to see his father. And don't get me wrong, it was a fun job at a certain point. It's not meant for college students or older. It's really meant for high schoolers. It's a good experience. It helps you, and what I recommend for people is to get with those jobs that I first had, so you are grateful for the jobs later down the road. Because the first one, it was excruciating, because it was just, you had no air. Like, I mean, all I complain about is good air conditioning. I don't mind, it's fine. It's just when you're outside being scolded alive with no, like, there's some trees out there, but it just blows my mind because it's an open area, fields all around it, so it's very open. So you would think that there's going to be some airflow. No. If you're on your lunch break going into the town, that's when it's really windy. But when you get back to that place, it's just dead. And there's always that saying that they always said to me. It's like, oh, starting at age 16, you already have 3,000 people under you. Yeah, but it's just the people that are buried. But anyways, yeah. And then some things happened at the roller skating place. But first I was part DJ, and then I found my way to get a better job there, and it was what was it? A skate guy. I basically cleaned the shoes or the skates and gave them out, and then vice versa, or worked on stuff or the arcade machines. And then I turned into the handyman. So I was at the roller skate place for a while, to get some money, and I was, and the woman that owns the place is local. She owns it. She is 90 something now, and she roller skates still to this day.
No way.
Like, she doesn't show anyone. I don't know if I forgot if I needed to say that, but she doesn't do it in public. She does it when it's closed hours. But she does great. She's really healthy. I felt terrible, but felt great at the same time at that place, because when it was the pandemic, she could not, local businesses don't have a safety net of millions upon millions and millions of dollars to just stay closed for a long time. So she needed to stay open. So we needed cleaning supplies for an opening night there. And so I went to Walmart, literally down the road from where the roller skate place is. So I got at least 4 paper towels, and she was the one, she sent me personally to get the stuff because I know what to buy and it's cheap, because I got the paper rolls, paper towels for 50 cents each, and had at least four of them in there, so that would help us through that night and the next night. Well, I had some cleaning supplies and whatnot, and then I was heading to the cash register, and then the manager comes out of her office and she heads to me and she says, "You can't buy those." I'm like, "These are not for me. These are for so-and-so from the skating rink." And then she's like, "We don't care. It's only maximum for one person." I'm like, "This is not for a person. This is for a local business." And then she's like, "Well, we can't help you. you can only buy one. I'm like, thank you for killing a local business, and I left the cart there and walked out. And then I wanted to say some stuff because the people that I saw in the not self checkout, that was before they had self checkout at that Walmart. This Walmart's pretty old, so I see people that are having like Clorox wipes, like multiple in their carts. I'm like, why are you not getting on to these people? Why should I follow if you're not enforcing it to all? And I don't know. It was sad to see, but it helped me there. But that wasn't it. But there's some other things that I'll keep private. But there's some things that made me want to go up the ladder. And plus, it was just the pay, really. I needed the better pay. And then I saw a flyer, or I don't know how I saw it, but I found a way to get a job, and it was CVS, and it was a shift supervisor, and it was basically a glorified cashier. Basically, you're getting paid $12.50 an hour, and I started there, and it was part-time originally. I was still part-time, by the way, but I'm working a lot of hours, and then I'm working up multiple CVS's, and it's fun. I mean, there's always something new, get to meet new people and whatnot, and it is what it is. I enjoy it. It just, I don't know, the mileage is really fun to get paid for. But anyways, your turn. I've been talking too much.
Yeah, when you were talking about like the air thing, when I worked, I literally worked in, so it was their shop, but above the shop is where like, so like below the shop, behind the counter and stuff, there was like, it was all like the screws, the air filters, stuff like that, because it's not as big. And then out in the actual store stuff is like the little things people come by, like lights, just real little things. So up in the actual warehouse, it was like the bigger things, like the air suspension for trucks. I can't even think right now. It's just
it comes and goes.
It's a lot, and there's no air conditioning up there, and the only way of air to come in was like right in the middle, a bunch of stuff. There's a door here and a door on the other side, and so the only air that comes in is through those doors. But the only air that comes into the whole building through that area is from the mechanic part, I should say, or their big hub of where they bring trucks in and stuff and fix them. So I sweat so bad in the apparel to where there was jeans, steel-toed boots, and a black shirt and hat. So I sweat my ass off so bad, and it was like, wow. So it was nice when I got to go mow or weed eat or something.
Yeah.
'Cause it was like, oh. But yeah, I'm 16 years old, so I don't have much job experience.
Okay, so I'm getting confused. What the hell? Live chat. Okay, so I'm going to exit out of this real quick to see if that does anything, because for apparently... Oh, that's why. Okay. That's why I haven't... I guess I've been ignoring Sarah, so I'm like, oh, that's bad.
Yeah. I've been seeing them, I just haven't said anything.
I thought, I had it all
Someone's
set
in
up.
trouble.
Yeah. I'm gonna be in the doghouse tonight. I'm just kidding. But there we go.
That's how I could name that show. She sent it, and I was like, oh, there it is.
Okay, first, folding my clothes like I promised. Never watched Game of Thrones either. How's Movie Castle? Spirit Away. I'm a neighbor. Well, you're well. Oh, yeah, thank you, babe. But yeah, it just, I don't know. It just, I don't know. I just, wait, what were we talking about?
Jobs.
Oh, yeah, it's just, I mean, a job is a job. Sarah and I do a side hustle, and it's like a lot of people I see on Snapchat asking what we can, like, what's a good way to make money, and there's some people that have been buying and selling or reselling vapes. And I know I'm a heathen, I'm sorry, but it just we do resell on the side. I started doing resale before I met Sarah, but it wasn't really serious. I just did it because I thought it was cool, or a cool thing to do. But and then Sarah got me really into it, and so Sarah and I made it a side hustle for us, in which we call it K&S Reso, and I made her a sign for Christmas, and and it's been so fun. I recently watched a video where this guy was buying these Lego sets that were already completed or whatever on this table, and then she's like, well, if you're interested, I got another one that's never been open before. And he's like, okay, I'll like to take a look at it. And it's like a mechanic. It was like you build a vehicle. There's no figures. It's just like a mechanical type, and those are expensive. And then she's like, well, I'm gonna look on eBay, and I'm like, I don't like when people at resale or at garage sales. I mean, that's your property at that time. Yep. Go for it. But I remember when I was little, it's like, oh, you like that? And it's like $5. I'll give it to you for $1. Awesome. No problemo. But now it's everybody has this ideology of, okay, I bought this camera for $200. I'm gonna sell it back that I've been heavily using it for 2 years, $200 or $150. Things depreciate and then they don't last as long, but yet they're still trying to squeeze as much money out of it that they didn't really lose any money out of it. Some things like classic cars and records and whatnot, they do go up in value, but a lot of people just want to squeeze every little penny out as they can. And then I heard this before because I look on Facebook time to time, and if I have like a Saturday off, I usually try to figure out where resale or citywide rummage sales are, and I see a lot of records for sale. I'm like, awesome, so I'm gonna go get some records. And I messaged them like, hey, just want to know if you would like just to sell them all. And they're like, well, first come, first serve. So and this is in Marion, about 2 hours away from me, so I woke up pretty early. I head all the way over there, and they're selling them for a really good price. Usually people that sell rock and roll records are selling them for like $20 a pop, and they're selling it like $3 to $5. I'm like, awesome. So I'm looking at them like, hey, and then they probably had like at least 100 actual like Scorpions, Journey, Foreigner, and whatnot. I'm like,
damn,
I'll give you all for 50. I know that was a low ball. And then they're like, whoa, 50, let's see, let's count it. And they're counting 5, 5, 5, 3, 3, and whatnot. And they got up to 300. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, would you shoot me an offer, like, at least? And they're like, well, if we do this, and then this is like a rich suburb, and they're rich people. I'm like, they should just at least just get rid of it half off. Like, at least take half of it off, so I'm like maybe spending $150 at least. And they're like, we'll give you we can get 10% off. Okay, so I'm looking through the ones that I know will sell. So I'm looking through them and I'm getting them, and then there's a record player, and it was like $15, and I'm like, oh, I like to take that. And then it was like around $55, or no, it was $45 or $43. It was a weird number, and I'm like, would you make an even 40 for it? And then it was closer to 40, and they're like, no, we'll do even 50. I'm like, what, can you still apply the 20%, that 10% that you gave me? And they're like, no. I'm like, But I mentioned to them about the record player that I'm interested in. They're like, well, it's $15 right now. Let me look online. And it was an Ion record player, in which those are expensive. They're selling for $15, and when the dust cover was broken, or the hinge, and it was an easy fix. And they're like, oh, whoa, we need to change that price from $15 to $120.
What the world?
The needle's not there. The needle's probably the most expensive thing, and why are you changing it now while I'm interested in it? You're that's when you lose business.
Not very smart. Yeah.
And so I'm just sick and tired of it. I already spent my money for them, and then I'm walking away. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm in a rich suburb. They don't have to really worry about money, but they're still squeezing money out of everybody that's like wanting to get something. And I know everything's inflating, but going back to that video, she's like, well, I look on eBay, it's like rounding around $200 to $600. I'm like, dang, that's expensive, which I know Legos are expensive. And then she mentions to it that it's decommissioned. So Lego will never make it again unless they change their mind. So the price of it went up even higher. I'll give you 50 for it. And I'm like, you lucky son of a gun. I wish I had that luck, because I sent that message to him, what happened to me. I'm like, I can't ever get that, because everybody's like, I understand it's around here. Everybody's trying to get their bang for their buck. But I was jealous, but it's fun to watch videos about it because I want to see, and I learn from it too. And there's there's some other things that I'll talk about later down the next streams or so about what we do. But any side hustles for you?
Nope. Not at all. I'm thinking about. Oh, actually, tell you what. Me and my buddy, we mow about, let's say, close to 10 yards a weekend.
Mhm.
So I make about, I want to say about $120 a weekend.
Yeah.
So it's not bad.
Yeah.
But other than that, nope. And I think I might be a lifeguard next summer.
Nice.
Because my sister does it, and she gets paid, say, $12 an hour to have.
sit.
So she sits for 15 minutes, and then gets a 30-minute break.
Okay.
So
that
and
and
she
she
gets
gets
paid
paid for the
$12 an
30,
hour.
for
Yeah,
the 30
she
minutes
gets-
too.
Yep,
Oh, lucky.
she gets. Yeah, I know. So it's like, huh, it's a good bargain.
Yeah. And then I don't know. It just I know someone from my school in my class. She used to work at the local pool, and the lady there, she was her science teacher, and she was really really strict on the rules. And then if you had shades on, and if someone's drowning, you cannot take those shades off. You have to dive into the pool with the shades on because you're wasting time to take them off to save someone's life. So you have to
No
go in
way.
with the shades on, and then if they come off, they come off, but they have to basically stay on. I'm like, So you can't see shit in them, but still you have to use them underwater. But I don't know. It was just ridiculous, but it was just a rule of hers, and no one really drowned. But
Yeah.
I mean, just
I
push
think
them
it's
to the
crazy.
side.
This year in my school, like this upcoming year, there's so many teachers leaving. Like our
Retiring?
principal, like, well, let me just tell you.
Oh.
I think we had one teacher retire, and she had dementia. She was a freshman year science teacher. She was wild. She'd like bump a table. She'd bump a table, look at the table, and say, "I'm so sorry," and they keep carrying on. It was wild. And then our principal left. I don't know where he went.
He just
And
gone.
then our offensive line coach ended up becoming our vice principal, because then our
Uh-huh.
vice principal became principal. So then we got a new new football coach, and so that means another new teacher. And then my English teacher last year left, and then a personal finance teacher left. And there was another teacher that left too, and it's like, man, this is crazy. What's going on? It's just, another thing.
Oh,
Whole town's so bad about this. We have to wear masks this upcoming school year.
Mine, the college, I had to wear mine last semester or the last two, and they're like, oh no, you don't have to wear one. So there was
Yeah, they
one
took
college that you have to get vaccinated just to be on there. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's really, I don't know. People have allergic reactions and won't be able to be considered eligible for it, and then yet, how do they go? That's,
Yeah.
I don't know.
They took the board meeting, took a vote on it, and it was 3-2 for masks. And so
Yeah.
many people are fighting it, and it's funny. There's been a bunch of Facebook posts of people giving out the people who voted yes for masks, their phone numbers, their emails,
Wow.
and it's like, oh my
That's
god.
not good. That's not good.
No.
If you want good change, you need to be professional, then try to harass the crap out of
Well,
someone.
another school about half an hour away from here, they voted yes for masks, and the parents showed up to the next board meeting and was giving them hell.
Yeah.
It's like, why are we wearing masks? Like, that's
When it's a 90%, I can't say anything because, I mean, we'll have to stay out of
Yeah.
that. We have to stay out of that. The first
it's-
episode, we're gone. But yeah, we had
COVID, man.
for my school, or the middle school and high school, usually the superintendent or any teachers that go to there usually are only there for a year. They use it for a stepping stone, basically, for their opportunity. Some of them need to. I don't get me wrong. My senior English teacher was by far the best, and yet, I mean, he was helping a lot of people at my school, but yet there was more opportunity at his hometown. So there's an opportunity to go there, so which he took. The other ones, like superintendents and all, they keep on going there. 1 year, our superintendent that's been there for 60 something years, she retired, and someone else came in, and she was only there for 2 years, and she retired because she was just transferring somewhere. I don't really know how that worked, but we had another guy. He came in, he was there for 2 years, and then he retired, or he left. So I saw a teacher from middle school, and then I asked her how the middle school was, and she's like, "Well, I mean, so and so, the principal, he's gonna be the principal for the high school and the middle school." And I'm like, "Huh?" And she's
How
like,
does that
"Yeah."
work?
And she's like, "Well, we'll just see how that goes." Well, they're the middle school and high school. They're literally in the same
Got it.
town. They're literally like 2 blocks away from each other. And so I'm like, how does that really work? Because he'll be in the high school for so and so days, and then vice versa. And but I mentioned it to someone, and I forgot who it was, and he's like, "Man, I don't know how it's gonna work because he couldn't even handle a high school. I can't imagine him handling middle schoolers."
I could see it if like there's a school down the road from me. If like the high school and middle school was one big
Yeah.
building, then maybe it'd work. But that's tough. How does he be in both places at once?
I don't know. I'm like, what happens if there's a fight at one school
They-
and then
do they
pure
put,
luck
like,
happens at the other? How can he be in two places at once?
Do they just put a vice principal in charge at one? Like, is there two different vice principals?
No, it's just one. There's no vice
So-
principal. There's only a principal and superintendent. There's a
Oh,
principal.
got it.
So how the layout is where I live. There's Johnsonville, and then there's Mount Airy, and in the middle there's Sisney. And so you have a principal for the elementary, and then vice versa for that other elementary. And then when you get to 5th grade to 8th grade, they both move into the middle school, and then that's when the schools start to conjoin and meet other people than just your pals that from kindergarten. And then you go into high school, and then but the high school, you have a principal, and the superintendent is usually the principal at the middle school. And it's kind of weird how that works, but
That is weird.
the superintendent, while I was in high school, no one liked him at all.
Yeah.
Because he didn't even live in our district. He lived like an hour or two away. And there was one day that even the teachers were mad at him because we had to drive on literal like 2 inches of thick ice. People were literally they couldn't get to school because they got in wrecks, and they were still supposed to show up to school. And then he didn't show up, and we're like, so it's okay for us to risk our lives to come to school, but yet you didn't come up to our school. And it was ice for the next 2 days, and then he finally canceled it, or he didn't cancel it for those 2 days. The only day that he canceled it was when we got a little dusting on the ground, and everybody was like, that didn't make sense.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, like the way it works, like that's weird to
And-
me. Thinking how much the superintendent's involved
Yeah.
for your schools, because like for me, middle school and elementary school, there's always the principal, vice principal, all the way up, and same with high school. And then the superintendent and the school board has like a separate building off of the high school, and then they make all the calls.
The 8th grade. So 8th grade, that's you're getting your feet wet when you're going to high school. So in the morning, you have like a 2-hour class at the high school, and then you walk back to the middle school. There was a fight in my class that happened, so they always had to have a teacher walk us to school, and didn't really know why, but we walked through rain, we walked through a blizzard, and even if it's spring, like when it was my senior year, I remember it was just sprinkling just barely or spitting snow. They ordered a bus to come and pick them up. I'm like, it's literally a block away. Why are they, or 2 blocks away? We had to go through all this. Why do they have to be pampered the whole entire way? And plus, by the way, the main thing is there's a kid that was the principal's daughter.
There it is.
That's why.
Yep. That's crazy. Like when we cancel here, we cancel because of ice. We don't get much snow in Ohio, but we get ice.
Mhm.
Actually, I couldn't tell you that. We get 4 different seasons in a week.
We get 4 seasons in one day, almost every day, except the summer. It's been like, I mean, it was the highest today, and it's gonna get hotter next week. We got a high 90 something, but it's getting hotter.
I'm so glad right now. I feel like it's starting to cool off as we're getting towards August, because it'll get. This year's crazy because it was still 50 degrees in May.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, in May it was still like 50 degrees. It's like, wow, that's
I always
crazy.
had that
And then-
saying that it's gonna, like, someday it's gonna snow on 4th of July, and then
Oh yeah.
like it was, I don't know, it got really cold. I don't remember
Yeah.
which day, but it was really cold for around that 4th of July.
Like it was so bad for sinuses too, because it'd go from like 50 degrees, and then for
Yeah.
the whole month of like June, it was like 90,
Hmm.
and then it was like and now it's back down. It's been about 80,
Yeah.
about 85 lately, so it's not bad.
But yeah, if anybody in the chat has any questions, shoot us some messages in the chat.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. It is what it is on how that is, because I mean, I'm glad I'm out of there. It's been and that's on global warming. What's that? What's global warming? I don't know, but the temperature's getting higher.
Yeah.
Or there's polar bears at this moment. Why do we have to care about global warming? We have pandas and bears to deal with.
Speaking of global warming,
Oh boy.
at this point, we're in like the warming stage, the recent ice age, right?
Yeah.
So obviously it's gonna warm up some. We're just making shit worse.
Yeah. I don't know. It just that's why. That's why I made a poll and nothing happened.
Did you not submit it?
No, I made the poll in that other pop up that I had that didn't even connect with the live stream that we have already.
That's why you said global warming. Just clicked.
What do you like? Do you have giveaways down? What's she saying now?
She said, "Uh-oh, I started something." It's like, no, I was just, I didn't understand that, and then I looked in the chat. It's like, oh, that's why. He said.
Wonder if so on your insert, if you see anything, let me know what it looks like.
Oh, yep, I got it.
Awesome.
Would you like?
Oh, I can't even hit anything. Oh,
I voted. There it is, man.
damn, that's 100% real quick.
Yep.
But yeah, so that works. So now I know what to do.
Any new games you see that are coming out or anything?
Battlefield 2042. I'm actually excited for this. I seen a new trailer just yesterday, and also the new season of Apex. I'm looking forward to the new character or the new legend that's coming out.
Yeah.
I'm really curious on what he does, but I really like his attire because his hat really reminds me of Cad Bane off of Star Wars. But 2042, they released a new trailer today, and it was a game mode called Portal. I'm like, wait, are they referencing from Valve Portal 1 and Portal 2? But it's all the eras of the Battlefields, like Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5, and the Battlefield 4-esque, all combined in 2042. It's like, here's a jet from the future versus a Mustang airplane in the 40s fighting each other. I'm like, that's awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
And
that's
then,
cool. Yeah.
I don't know. And it's like you have Germans versus advanced or futuristic soldiers. And I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be Germans. It's going to be the European. I don't know. That's what I kind of got turned off on, because they, from Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5, they don't do what was that game? It was kind of like a Doomsday type game. Brawlhalla? Not Brawlhalla. It started with a B. Blood something.
I couldn't tell you. To be honest, I'm looking forward to Rust. I've been itching to play and I haven't been home. What's your Twilight experience, Clayton?
Oh, I watched some of them. The ones that we have watched, I'm like, okay, I remember what they were. And then, was it Wolfenstein?
Oh, that sounds right. That sounds like the game.
The second one, Wolfenstein 2 or something. It has a scene. It has a scene of Hitler auditioning certain people to be him, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? That's bothering me. I need to look that up.
Hope everyone's day is fantastic. Your day was awesome.
Wolfenstein, yeah, Wolfenstein 2.
I was gonna say that name sounds familiar. I
Yeah.
definitely seen it
So
somewhere.
that's the last game that I know that had a Nazi symbol in the game. Now they don't.
Oh,
They don't have
yeah.
anything like that in any games. Battlefield 1, that wasn't really accurate at all. I mean,
They
there's
won't do the
Germany,
Nazi.
and
They
then,
won't do the Nazi thing. They'll do like that little cross
yeah,
or
they
whatever.
do the Iron Cross, or that was, I understand from Battlefield 1 because that was before he was in power, and plus he was a soldier at that time.
Hmm.
But in Battlefield 5, they don't even have it at all. And then the storyline, they don't call them Nazis. But
See what I hate about just like Nazis and stuff is you can't just hide history because then history's gonna repeat itself.
yes, exactly. I sound like a broken record on Facebook about that because I just recently saw a video of a pastor, just recently, not from the pandemic when everything was closed down, but literally
Yeah.
like before July 4th happened. A preacher was having a church service in his own house, and police came to his house and arrested him because he was violating the reestablished stay-at-home order in his state. And I'm like, so it begins, and what it like, and people are so ignorant that they know so much about history, but yet they don't know about history because everybody's like, oh, Hitler just came into Austria and rolled in his tanks and army to take over. I'm like, they didn't.
Yeah.
Austria voted them in. So now they were told for many months when they drill something in their head they'll explain it, but well that's a
Yep.
whole other stream. That's a whole other stream. But yeah, it's just like, so it begins. They go by little, and then they're like, oh yeah, you need to turn in your guns because we are the ones that protect you. But yet Germany said the exact same thing, and then once everybody gave in their guns, they turned right against them and then started genocide. Yep. But going back to the Twilight,
That's so off topic. That's
yeah,
so
we got
bad.
off topic real quick. But going back to the Twilight, I watched a little bit. My mom wanted to do a binge watch a while back, but I didn't really get into it. But Sarah and I watched it because Sarah really likes to hate watch it. It's not like it's her favorite hate watch series. And we got on the third one. She says this is her favorite one because of the soundtrack of it. And the first one, I mean, I watched it before. It was a slow drag, but there were some things I'm just like, I haven't noticed yet until the second one. Sarah really mentioned it to me. She's like, now notice the part when the camera's rotating around her when she's lonely, and yeah, it's what a transition. And she's when he breaks up with her and then it just rotates around her for months and months. I'm like, man, she's really sitting in that chair for a long time. But she's like no, look at what you see. Notice something in the room, like there's no pictures anymore. I don't know. And she's like, look again. Look how many fucking lamps she has. She has like 30. She has like 31 lamps in that room. And then she's like, yeah, I watched like 2 or 3 commentaries about it, and there's one that said she like went by frame and counted how many lamps she had in her room. It's like, this is not healthy. Someone has like 31 lamps in their room. But I don't know. I mean, I like the PTSD part, and then some scenery to it. The water one, Sarah liked too. I mean, it's Twilight. I mean,
see, like, I grew up, and my sisters and mom always loved watching it.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I sit down and start watching it, I'll sit there and watch it, but I don't want to.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
because I get it from my grandfather, because when I start something, I have to finish it. But yeah, it's killing me because we still haven't finished. I mean, I understand. Sarah and I have been working all the time, but it's just, there's 2 shows that I really want to watch, but yet we haven't got to. Huge going back to the TV shows that I recommend Westworld. Westworld is such a good show. It's good as what you say, that people have that huge hype about Game of Thrones. Westworld is such a good one. And then she says, so many lamps, it's unhealthy. The soundtrack and Charlie are the only good things about it. But I'm like, well, if I ever had the opportunity to have a time machine go back, it would be back to when the Twilight saga was in theaters, and then when people are yelling, screaming, Team Edward or Team Jacob, I wanted to say Team Charlie. But Sarah's like, you can't do that because it's implying that she's wanting him. Like, no, just everyone's Team Charlie.
Yeah.
Because he's great. Because there's one scene from the first movie, I forgot what it was. It's like, he doesn't hover, but it's like, I don't know. Sarah can help me on that one. But yeah, we need to. She'll probably have a whole episode with us about it. I mean, it's Twilight. I mean, I can't complain.
It's there.
But the thing is, I hate watching this. Now I can show her the series, the saga of Star Wars 1 through 6.
Oh, dude.
She
love Star Wars.
So I showed her Mandalorian.
Okay.
She loved it. I'm like, you gotta love Star Wars. We need to watch Star Wars: The Clone Wars because you really appreciate the Mandalorian.
Do not start it 1 through 3.
I'm doing it. I'm not showing her 1 through 3. That's a prequel. I'm watching it.
Do it the way it came out.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yes, you have to because
I'm not gonna show her. I'm not gonna show her the fucking new ones. The Leia.
No, don't do the original.
Yeah.
But do not watch 1 first because that's you gotta know everything what happened.
And she's like, I'm not watching Star Wars, so whatever.
So
you will.
good. So good.
She's like, I feel satisfied that I haven't watched it. I'm like,
speaking of Star Wars, I wanted to get the is it the new Battlefront or the one with the planes? What's that called?
Oh, Squadron.
Jets? Yeah, Squadrons. I actually wanted to get that, but
the
I never
best
did.
game mode that I ever played from a Star Wars game was Ewok Hunt. It was basically a horror movie. It was a horror game.
I played
the
with
best
you.
thing.
So fun. So fun. You're a stormtrooper and you have little Ewoks chasing you, trying to kill you.
Yeah, you probably watched Mary Sue.
You probably watched an awful one.
But
Start with 4.
Yeah.
And go.
It just the Mandalorian she loved, and I nerd out in the 2nd season. Holy cow!
I haven't watched that either. You can tell me. I don't care, but I haven't had
you
the
know
time
about
to
the meme about Boba Fett or the scenes of Boba Fett? Holy!
No.
Oh well. Oh wait, Boba Fett. The scene that they're introducing a certain character is the most badass thing because you know about the original series, the saga, and whatnot. They had Boba Fett. He's presented like this badass, and then all of a sudden, here's his glory, and then he dies or gets eaten by a Sarlacc pit.
Yeah.
But they really show him and shine him up, and then also they put Clone Wars and his arc together really well. I'm like, this is awesome.
Oh, sci-fi. No, it's so good. So good.
She likes Doctor Who, and did you like Star Trek? I forgot.
I like Star Trek. Trek's also a good one. Dad used to watch like the old 1960 or however old ones. Just and I'd sit there and watch them with us.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like I started on The Office and I got done with it. I'm like, all right, I'll watch Parks and Rec. And then I'm like, this is just literally a copy and paste of it. It's just not hitting right. And plus, it just feels like it's a ripoff. And then later down the road, when Ron Swanson's put into it, I'm like, okay, I can watch it. But yeah, it's the same thing with Star Trek. It's just, I mean, there's Patrick Stewart that I know that's in it, but I can't watch anything like it. I can't. And then I heard the movies are good. My dad watched it, and he's like, it's really good. But I'm just like the new ones or the old movies?
The
ones that came out like in the late 2000s, 2010s.
Yep, those ones are good.
Dad, he's like, yeah, I really like it. I'm like, I mean, yeah, it looks good, but I just can't force myself to watch it. I don't like Star Trek. My uncle made me watch that. Literally, really old ones.
No, the old ones are not the old one movies. The old episodes, they were good. I like watching.
She loves Parks and Rec. I love the Office, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Parks and Rec too. I love the improv. I love the improv deleted scenes. The funniest one is when it's Chris Pratt. He is by far the funniest improv guy on there because they were talking about you. Have you seen The Marker?
Is that the one with the meme and
They're on the chairs and he's like,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
He's what I gotta oh my god, I gotta what's it called?
You gotta look
I
it
gotta-
up. It's called I'll send you the link. Chris Pratt Improv Parks Rec Marker Scene.
No, there was like which one?
Writing's not.
Ooh.
It's a meme and I know what it is, but I can't think of it. They said something and he said like Kim Kardashian or something.
Oh yeah, it's a comeback video, whatever. And then well, we won't mention it on YouTube, but it's like, oh, I didn't know she has a scene, whatever, of Kanye West, but yeah,
oh, yes, you got it.
yeah. But and then he was talking about a marker or something, but I butcher stuff if I recite it time to time, but I recommend you watching that. That's by far my funniest, or the hilarious one that I think of. The Office is hard to get through the first couple of seasons. I understand that. The first time I watched it, I did not like Michael for the first 2 seasons because he was just too inconsiderate to people and just an ass to everyone. But when they really got into it, like the third or fourth, when I don't know, what?
Have you ever watched The Flash on Netflix?
No, I have not. I saw some of the Arrow because Deathstroke was in it, but I just can't.
What about Austin Powers?
Yeah. Groovy,
Ah.
groovy, baby. I
love
actually, so I'm gonna get some records real quick. I'm gonna talk about that real quick.
All right. Well, everyone, this is my stream now. I'm kidding. Austin Powers is a good one. Super Bad. Ridiculous 6, another good one. These are Netflix shows, by the way. This is what. Oh my God, Trailer Park Boys. Where it's at. Get on here. Come on. Listen. I forgot about this one.
What was that?
I forgot about this one. Trailer Park Boys. Have you
I
ever
have
watched
not
it?
seen it. I've seen a lot of trailers to it.
It's so hilarious,
So,
man. It's so funny. Oh,
For
God.
resale and people scalping everyone, at Walmart, usually they have like a limited edition stuff, and then there's The Mandalorian Season 1. I saw it one time, and it was $20. I'm like, I can get that cheaper. I'm like, there's no, like, I can get that definitely cheaper. Worst mistake in my life, because I never saw it in a Walmart ever again. I look online, it's like 60 to 80 bucks or whatnot, and I got this bad boy for 30 bucks. I know I could have saved a little bit more on this, but when I had to get my tire fixed at Walmart, I was going through the records, and then I found this one, and I learned from my mistakes. I'll never make that mistake again. I found this bad boy. Shrek 1 season, the soundtrack, and it's limited edition color vinyl, so it's green, so it's never been opened, so it's actually really, really it sells really well on eBay, but I'm gonna keep it because Shrek has been in my life since I was a little. Best
Sarah, Austin Powers is basically a rip-off, hilarious version of Agent 007.
James Bond.
James Bond. God,
But yeah, you're right about the 007.
I couldn't think of it.
They had what's it called? But they're kind of the Simpsons because they predicted the future because of the guy that owns Amazon got shot up in the in space and the same thing, and then everybody's like,
Dude, I'll come home and find my dad.
Find.
I'll come home and find my dad just sitting there watching Shrek.
My favorite one from the series is Shrek 2. Best one.
Which one's that?
That's when they meet the family. Shrek meets Fiona's family.
Oh yes, got it. Yeah,
I love the soundtrack, the storyline, the characters that they put in there. That's the third one, that's the final chapter. The third one, no one really likes because that's when Shrek doesn't want to become king, so he has to find the next heir.
I can't remember the Shreks besides the first one.
You need to watch the second one and come back on that. And then Sarah used to watch it. That was she showed me that when she worked at Wendy's. They had a little phone up in this like it
Yeah.
looked like where it was by the computer or whatever. They see the orders and they had that on the so they can watch time when past time. But yeah, it's we found that. I've been looking for other records. There's some records that I'm really looking forward to. There's one that's called I'm bad with names. I have to look it up. Gonna eat a lot of peaches. It's song by the presidents of the United States of America, and it's called "Gonna Eat Me a Lot of Peaches," but it's really called Peaches, and it's such a good song. And then it's like I'll have to send you the link. Copy link address.
Oh my god, this thing's dusty. Probably shouldn't just blow into it.
Yeah, it kind of
Probably.
peaked right there.
Peaches, President of the United States. Let's go ahead and.
I mean, I would play it, but we can't get copy striked.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and listen.
Yeah, it starts out good. I really like that.
This is like something my dad would listen to.
You
Just
probably
starting
heard
off.
it. We used to have it as our we used to so we had the Olympics at my school in high school,
I
and
don't know
we
this
had this
song at
we had this
all.
anthem. We had this as our national
No
anthem.
way!
Gonna eat a lot of peaches.
What is this? Oh,
I learned it because of an old friend of mine. His dad
from a
collects a lot of
can!
from a can.
What is this, man? This come out in 2008? Oh my goodness.
Okay. Let's go on eBay real quick and let's see what it ranges from.
What, that
Yeah, that on
that album?
yeah, peaches. Well, I just see it on CD right now, but I'm gonna look on LP.
What is this? What's
Yeah, LP of it, Presidents of the United States, signed, green splatter, vinyl, $190. New sealed one, $150. And then the rest of them are going into like Richard Nixon and whatnot. There's another one that's like $100. There's a CD of one. No, it's an LP and it has a picture on it. Yeah, that's the one thing that I do not like about LP, new records is that they have this shit on it. Like I don't mind it having the what's it called, the print on it. No worries. I'll have it as a wall item, not to play music on because they don't have the picture or the paint inside the plastic. It's slapped on it, so it puts an extra layer onto the little the grooves on it, so it sounds pretty bad. It's just for looks, really. And then Sarah says bless you.
Thank you.
And there's one that Sarah and I have an aunt that she's like, hey, I have a cabinet full of records and all that. I know that you're interested, and we said, yeah, sure. So we were looking through them, and I'm gonna get it real quick too. So I'm gonna I'm gonna do the transition thing real quick. I want to do that.
Just
So
okay, cause good. I gotta take a leak anyways.
okay, we will be back. Hey, we said bless you. So we are back. So Sarah and I, we like I mentioned, we went to my great aunt's house and got the records and the cabinetry and then some receivers from it. So we were going through the records and which we did put in our collection, or my collection, and what we found was this old Disney. Oh, he's gone. Nope,
I'm
he's
here.
putting his pillow back on, but we found this old Disney soundtrack. So we are back. So Sarah and I, we shit. Mentioned, we went to my.
What happened to your lighting?
I don't even know what happened to my lighting. What is going on? I'll just have to wait for him. Did you break your chair already?
No, I just wanted the little pillow on so I can have a little headrest right now.
A little bit
Got
privileged.
my blanket down here.
Oh, you're
chilling in the
privileged.
basement.
Privileged. But yeah, it's this old collection of the oldies but goldies soundtracks, and we have one that we got from Cracker Barrel. But these, like, I'm just so shocked on because these, you can tell that they're really good, but the pictures are inside. You can see the plastic over it, so it's an actual image in it, and the quality of it, we were like, man, we can see it's faded, but it's actually on purpose to last longer. And we haven't played it yet. I want to play it with her. And we found, and when we started resell before, we went to Woodlawn, and there's this guy that used to have a museum for Elvis, and I told him that I collect records, and then if he would be selling any, he's like, yeah, sure, I do have some records, I'll be back. So he took about 5 minutes to get his stuff. So he goes and he has a stack of all Elvis Presley records and some others, and a lot of them I already seen. They're all what are they called? Reprints, and usually if they're reprints, the actual record devaluates because there's a new one for it. And there's one that I never seen before, and then he was mentioning that he got evaluated and no one could find out how much it was. It's just so rare. So, and when he's telling me about all this, I'm like, Sarah's on my right, and I'm like, well, I'll give you 20 for it, if not 40. And Sarah's like, I want to kick you right now because how I said that. I'm like, hey, if you don't want 20, I can give you 40. And then he's like, okay, I'll give you 20. So I told this story to my grandma too, and grandma's like, oh, if I was there, I would have hit you too. And but when we got into the vehicle, or the Blazer, we looked online as soon as possible, and just the CD alone of it is $200. And if you go on eBay, and it's I don't remember what it's called, but just that one, there's a white one, and that one's a black one. The black one's more rare than the white one for some reason, and the black one was around $400 to $500. I'm like, oh, cool. But we spent $37. Yeah, we spent 37, almost $40 that day. Or was that another day? No, that was another day. When we were in Woodlawn, we went to Walmart before, and she was looking at a bike, and she really liked this bike. It was a black Hyper, whatnot, and she really, really enjoyed it. And she's like, man, it's just really expensive. I'm like, hey, I can get you that for $20. We're driving by, and I had my Blazer, but I did not have my bike stand on the back. And I see this bike, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take a look at it. And then I go to the guy, and he's like, well, I mean, you have and I explain how far I have to go. I'm like, well, I'll give it to you for $20. I never use it. I'm like, okay. So I took it apart, and before I took it apart, I went around so Sarah couldn't see me until I got to her door, knocked on it, and opened her door. I'm like, hey, guess what? Got you the bike for $20. And then just like that was just pure luck.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm gonna explain about our. This will be my kind of my last. Kind of the last story that I'm gonna say, but we can just if you want to wrap it up or not, if you want to. So, when we went on vacation, we had a little bit of a trip to make. So we headed there, and then we were with my family in Crested Butte. And what we had to do is, I want to show her my childhood. So where I usually went, it was Redstone Marble. We were able to get there to Redstone. It was about 2 hour to 3 hour drive, and we left at 1:45, and we got there around 3 to 4. And so we were looking at the river, and we picked up some rocks there, and we headed to Marble. And it took us a while to get to Marble for some reason, but when we got to Marble, it was a long ways down there, and it was already getting dark. So I'm like, well, we really need to head to our KOA that we rented. So I'm gonna make him a call. So I make him a call. I'm like, hey, we will most likely be late for when you close. And they're like, no worries, we'll have the key in a certain spot. So it's like from where we live is a flat area in Illinois. So like a stretch of that same distance from here in Illinois is about a 2 hour trip, 1 to 2. That same strip that is placed into Colorado, we left at 5 or 6. Oh, are we having technical difficulties?
No, that was when your camera was acting up.
Oh, okay. But we were what was it? But we left, I forgot what time, but we got to our KOA at 12 to 1. I was already we had to switch drivers. So Sarah was driving and I wasn't, and I took a nap, but I woke up and then here Sarah's just going up a hill and I hear the engine going up, but I'm like, well, you have to put it in manual to not let so you don't have to ride the brakes so much, so your engine's braking for you. And she didn't know, and I wish I told her that, but she's like, that wasn't the scary part. The scary parts were when you were asleep, and there were some times I think we would have died. Like she said, I guess we were gonna die, but we made it, and we got to the KOA, and I'm already in a bad mood. I want to go to bed. When I'm like at that point in the night, I'm like, I need to go to bed. And once I hit that bed, we go out like a light. So I get to the certain spot they tell me. I'm fishing behind this certain box. I look in the mailbox, nothing there. I'm like, well, looking around. So I find this box on the board, the meeting board or something, and I fish my hand behind it, and there's a key. Like, hey, we got a key. Let's get into bed. So we were blind, basically, in this campground because I see some cabins, let's go that way. So we find this little cabin, and we're trying to match it up, and it says 301B on our card. So I'm looking for it, and then there's 52, 53, and whatnot, and then we see 2 people in the night. I'm like, excuse me, I know how to drive an old-fashioned manual, dork. I know, it's just privilege. But anyways, I asked him, and it was just like, hey, I don't want to spook you, I'm here in front of my car. I just want to know if you guys still have your map that they give you. And they're like, yeah, you can have it. I'm like, okay, thank you. We just need to get to we're really tired and we just want to go to bed. So they give me their map. And then when we get to the map, we get this nice, we get to the, what's it called? I can't even talk today. We get to the cabin, and it was a really big cabin. I'm like, oh, okay. So we open it up, and then what we have is input. Say something real quick. Okay, so that's what's Okay, so I'm gonna have to add that. Say something. Let's try that.
Hello?
There we go. So anyways, what we had is this nice cabin. It was like a resort, basically. I'm like, oh, this is so awesome. And
Looking at it.
We woke up, And then I'm like, well, that night before, I'm like, man, I'm really having this summer rental vibe. And so we have to go to. We wake up and I hear fiddling with the locks, and I'm like, oh shit. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm really having because this is the summer rental experience. Because I really recommend you watching it. It's starring John Candy, and so I go to the door. She's already opening it. She sees me. She's like hollers or whatever, and I'm like, hey, no worries. She's like, well, I thought you guys already left. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, well, no worries. We'll get this all situated. I'll head to the front desk. So I head to the front desk, and she's like, well, or not that. It was that lady that I was on the phone with the night before, the evening before they closed. And then there's the guy that owns the place, and he's like, well, how did you get this key exactly? I'm like, well, you told the person that, or Catherine, or whatever her name was, that was working there. She told me that the key was going to be this so-and-so spot. And I'm like, well, we never really do that, and we've been missing this key for a month or two. I'm like, well, does that mean we get another night in that place? They're like, no, you're in cabin 52. And cabin 52 was this.
It's a hell of a little journey you got going on here.
Yeah. And so we downsized tremendously. So we had a nice resort for a while for that night. And I mean, Sarah and I really enjoyed the place. And, but it was a really nice cabin for the first night. And then the second night we had that, and then we headed home. But she gave the...
Smaller.
Yeah, it got really small. That bunk bed probably took up majority of that room because it could have been a little bit smaller, but at least the bed was a little bit better than the one we had in Lyman. Lyman was that one, even though we were like exhausted, I woke up and I felt like I was just in a kink because that was bad. But yeah, we had a experience on our trip, but I give it a 9-ish, 8 out of 10. Sarah does the same. We had a great time.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to other adventures. We're wanting to go to Gatlinburg next year. So
that's where I want to go next summer.
Nice. We can see if we can meet.
Maybe.
Yeah. So
I got this little Luca toy from McDonald's. Okay. Me and my
oh,
friends,
we actually we're supposed to finish the movie, but we haven't finished it yet.
What?
We're watching that movie, Luca or whatever it's
Oh,
called.
Luca. Yeah. So my friend gets a Happy Meal. We'll get the Luca toy. This guy turns green when you put him in cold water.
Uh-huh.
And it was so funny because we did it. We were just messing around. He was on my windshield for like 2 weeks. Didn't fall off. He's just chilling. And my dad's like, "What is that on your windshield?" It's Luca. So he takes it off, brings it in here. Now he's been chilling in my room since. And his face is kind of tinted green because he got a little wet. Focus.
A little bit wet.
Just a little bit green there. And it's just, makes me smile. It's Luca. He just protects me. Oh, my Xbox is on. It's not good.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, Sarah already misses the mountains. I do too. But holy cow, it was expensive out there. Through Missouri and Kansas, great gas prices. But when we got into Colorado, it was like around $3.80 to $4 a gallon. And then Kansas and Missouri, it was almost like one place was $1.99, and then the other ones were $2.70, about that price.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was a great experience. But yeah, I have some chibis, or not chibis, vinyl bobbleheads or whatever. They're still in their boxes. Yes, I'm still the 40-year-old virgin. But it just, I don't know. I hope everyone enjoyed the first episode. If you're done wrapping up.
Fun. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
I'm good. I ain't got nothing else.
All right, awesome. So we got our first episode. Finally got it done. I know that we had $100,000. Oh yeah, you have to make at least $100,000 to be comfortable living there in Colorado, and then us both making part time. I don't know, but later down the road, yeah, most likely yes. But Missouri is the only place that we can go because Illinois is just
Actually,
shit.
I'll ask you that. Never mind.
No. Finish what you were gonna say.
It's something private.
Oh, okay. But anyways,
Yeah.
thank you all for watching. Have my cousin texting, but we have our first episode done. I'm looking forward to it. So is next Friday okay? Because I know that I can get off. I'm getting off. Well,
Let's find out.
actually I do not know.
I'm clear next Friday. Nothing on the calendar.
Okay, awesome. Because I know I get off at 6, so we can still do 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Or you're 8, I'm 7, but it's just we'll have to discuss that after.
When we
the
get
episode.
later into August,
Mhm.
I won't be able to do that. Obviously, I have Friday night football games,
Yeah, understand.
so we can find a schedule there.
Oh yeah, definitely. And plus, it's just right now, when I get to work tomorrow, I'll definitely find out when my schedule is because they had to reschedule everything. But
Got it.
But yeah, but everyone, thank you for watching and have a wonderful night.
Peace.